Okay, I will switch screens. Hello. Let's talk about Art Fight 2010, or 2010, oh my goodness. Art Fight 2026, the 10-year anniversary for Art Fight. And I have been playing Art Fight for all 10 of those years. I was lucky to get in on that first year, and I've been addicted to it every summer since. And I've made a lot of content around it. A lot of people who watch this channel, especially in the summer, are here for that exact reason, for Art Fight. Monster sponsorship, says Book Latte. Yeah, no, I don't think so. But, you know, sometimes we drink what we need to drink to get our brains moving. I don't know if I should really say that. I'm not promoting that. Let's not promote that. Let's promote being healthy and making smart choices. Do better. Do better than me. Yeah, so I know you mentioned earlier in the chat that the theme this year, you were joking and said, will be Already-ish versus everyone else. I was watching Already-ish's video, one of her videos, yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And also let me know if this music is too loud. I'm gonna like drop it just a tiny bit. Hopefully it's not too bad. And I know that the new rules have definitely created, I guess, like a lot of drama for Art Fight. This is not, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, this is not how I thought the 10-year anniversary for Art Fight was gonna go. I did not think this would be the way that we would kick it off, with like so much of the Art Fight user base being so angry. And I don't want to start with that topic. I really don't. I want to keep things positive, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I think it's important to keep things positive. And I have like a whole bunch of reasons, so hopefully at least some of these will click with some of you. Reason number one, the world is on fire. And we just need something good in our lives. Like, we really do. We need something good in our lives that isn't like another war headline, another city got bombed, another the prices of something went up again, like groceries are going up, AI is taking over, war is happening everywhere. I mean, we're like really quickly devolving into World War III here. We just won't know until hindsight when it actually began. They'll decide that later. Like the future will decide what part of what we're doing right now starts World War III, but we won't know it when it happens, I don't think. It could have already happened, the thing that triggered it all, and we're just along for the ride right now. My point is, we need something good in our lives right now, like more than in the previous 9 years. Like, this is year 10, and it is an important year because it is a hard year. It has been a hard year for a lot of people. And art is something that we go to bring joy to our lives, to find an outlet to express ourselves. We appreciate creativity. Creativity gives a lot of us the drive that motivates us to continue growing as people. There's a lot of things that we enjoy about art, and Art Fight is an opportunity right now for us on a global scale to connect over something that isn't fear-driven, that isn't a pain point. And the fighting over the new rules is not it, fam. Like, we need to not let this become another pain point in our lives. Like, I need this Art Fight to not be a pain point in my life. Art Fight needs to be the spark of light in my life, and I really do not want it to just get destroyed on its 10-year anniversary, no less, because of disappointment in a rule. Wow, these songs are kind of weird. I'm gonna try to find something a little... Let's go with this. Equally weird. Okay. I'm gonna click something that says the mood is happy. There we go. And yeah, we will talk about it. Honestly, we will talk about the rules and the climate right now surrounding the Art Fight rules. But I really want to start with speculation, because that's the title of the video, right? This is for speculating on the 10-year anniversary of Art Fight. Data centers versus AI themes, says Latte. Is that not the same thing? Like, aren't those two the same thing? That's like the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah, themes is the first one. So when it comes to art by speculation, I heard ideas floating around, and I don't know where they originate from. I'm sorry if this was your idea. You can let us know in the comments because I don't know who to give credit to. But I heard an idea. Somebody was speculating that there might be more than 2 teams this year. And I thought that would be so cool, like so wild to have like multiple teams kind of competing, like it's the Olympics. And we have like, I was thinking seasons would be a really cool theme. Like, can you imagine if there was autumn, winter, spring, and summer as themes, and each theme would be like, it would be so easy to decorate for that, right? Like imagine decorating your profile for spring and you've got like flowers and you have gardening and all kinds of like very vibrant or pastel even, because spring is often associated with pastels. You've got like your cherry blossoms, you know, to decorate your profile page. Or if you're on team summer, you're looking at like the pool and the pool beach ball, maybe some volleyball nets, the beach, some palm trees. We could do for autumn, I'm thinking like obviously a lot of like autumnal colors. You've got your very warm earthy tones. You can do like the colorful fallen leaves. You can do all your spooky stuff, you know, like your spooky Halloween kind of style stuff. All of your like diehard Halloween fans are gonna like all culminate in the autumn, I would think, theme if they were doing this, if we were doing 4 teams and they were each seasonal. And then winter, of course, you've got like your cool tones, right? Your autumn is very warm tones, very earthy tones. Your winter would be your very cool tones. You'd have like your light blues, your icy whites. You're gonna see a lot of like snow. People could like animate their pages with like snowfall. You could have icicles, very like snowflake themes. You could do all the little crystalline like designs and stuff. So I personally would think that would be a really cool way to make this year different from previous years, is to have multiple teams. Hookalatte says rock versus paper versus scissors. Yeah, you could do 3 teams and they could be rock, paper, scissors. And I feel like that would be really, that would be a really fair fight because I don't know if rock, paper, or scissors, if any one of those would have like a stronger fandom than another. So you might get some really equitable divide there between those teams. So let me know, like, if you were a if you were a season, what season would you choose of the 4 if they give us 4 teams? And if it was rock, paper, scissors, what would you choose? Like, do you have a preference or would you randomize? Like, I think with rock, paper, scissors, I might do the randomize because I really don't have any loyalty to rock, paper, or scissors. But with the seasons, I would definitely have to think about it. I don't know what I would choose seasonally. I'm like really feeling the spring right now. I know we're like quickly leaving spring and entering summer already, but I just started gardening last year. I didn't do very good. It's a hard thing to do. Gardening there's definitely a learning curve there. But I'm hoping to do better this year. I got a late start. I didn't start in early spring. Like, I should have started way back in February. I did not. I started in May. So I'm like really behind. There's some spring plants I definitely had to skip. Like, I couldn't do like the lettuce and the radishes or any kind of like heat sensitive crops that are gonna just wilt in the sun, especially living in Southern California. Like, you're definitely not gonna succeed at those if I plant them this late in the season. So I'm definitely looking more into my like heat tolerant plants. I've got my tomatoes, I've got potatoes, I've got cucumbers started. I don't have any of them, like, they're not harvestable, but I've got them started, they're planted, and things like that. So I am kind of feeling the spring thing, but I know that it's about to be like out of season. So I'm not sure. I also really like spooky season. I really like Halloween and the dress up and the decorations and everything, but I don't know that I'm really a warm tones kind of person. I think I more gravitate towards cool tones, so it would be harder for me to like commit to a very warm, earthy palette, I think. So I don't know. Pocolatte says spring and fall themes, the extremes are painful. Yeah, so the summer and the winter are like, yeah, that's true. They're very extreme. You got like extreme heat and extreme cold. I know as a person, as a human being, I really don't like being cold. I love being in Southern California because it never really gets that cold. I grew up in the Midwest where we would get winters. Okay, the winters I grew up with, I'm gonna have my old lady moment here. The winters I grew up with don't even exist anymore, because when I was a kid, we would get snow so deep, I would be like elbow deep wading through the snow to get to school if we were still going to school, because I also walked to school. I lived close enough to my school where I could walk. And there were times when like we were so snowed in, the car couldn't leave the house. And so as the oldest kid, my mom would give me like a $20 bill and send me like 2 blocks out into the snow to the corner store to go pick up like milk and eggs. And so that was a thing that happened. And I remember being in my big old snowsuit, like really like just looking like the Puff Marshmallow Man and just like chugging through the snow that was as big as me to get to a store for some groceries. That makes me sound ancient, but climate has changed. I know there's a lot of climate change deniers. I personally don't really care what anybody believes, but I know from firsthand experience, climates have changed. Like, we don't have extreme winters like that anymore. When I was a kid, the airport in Ohio, Columbus Airport, would get shut down every winter for like extreme weather. There were just times when they shut down the airport. And there have been so many winters in recent history where that didn't happen all winter long. Like, the airport stayed up and running. And maybe it's because they got better, right? Better technology, better flight capabilities, better snow plows to get the snow off of the... I don't know. Like, I don't think that clearing the runway with a snow plow is going to change the inclement weather that they have to fly in, but it used to be that bad, and it's just not anymore. Pocolatte says my mom would put our socks in the dryer before we went to school back then. To keep your feet warm? That's really thoughtful. Okay, yeah, back to art fights. Sorry, I definitely went down like memory lane there. So some other reasons why I think it's really important not to give up on Art Fight this year, the 10-year anniversary, because I know a lot of people are in their like heads and in their hearts debating if they still want to play this year because they feel disappointed in some of the new rules that came out. And I'm not going to say yes or no whether or not those rules are justified. I think that my opinion as one person is way too small to make a decision that big. I know that the moderators are a group of people who debated it for a very long time, and they made pros and con list, and they did the best that they could. So I'm in no way going to suggest that my singular independent opinion that has not been contested or like challenged at all would in any way be like more accurate than a whole panel's whose whole job has been to figure that out. What I will say is I'm going to speak to the player base as a player, and I think we as a society, I'm saying very largely, not just as a group of artists, not as an art community, but as a society, as a global internet society, have really seen some creep when it comes to our expectations, where I'm gonna give you a couple examples of what I'm trying to say, so bear with me. Don't get angry at what I'm saying and then click off and go somewhere else. Please hear me out. We have reached a place where we feel very entitled to ultimate satisfaction. And so we've reached a standard in our society where being disappointed is unacceptable in a product or in a service. It's unacceptable for us to be disappointed as the consumer. And we see this with fandoms. You look at the Star Wars fans and how they just are so volatile to the actors that play in the movies that they claim to love. They're so volatile to the scriptwriters. They're so volatile whenever they're disappointed in the franchise that didn't live up to their expectations. They become volatile. They become so angry and so hateful, and so like they lash out. They've like driven actors to quit acting. They've it's just it's we look at that as Star Wars. We look at Star Wars and we're like, in our own community, looking through the window, like window shopping into their community and saying, you know, oh, that's so toxic, right? Like that's how, like, it's just entertainment. Why are you so angry? Like, if you don't like it, don't watch it kind of attitudes. But then you turn around and look at, well, what are we doing? What are we doing in our community? We have an art game called Art Fight that we don't even pay for. Unless you want to, unless you're donating. But it's a free game in our art community. It allows us to participate as a community. But if the rules aren't exactly the way each individual player wants them to be, if they're not satisfied, or if they reach a place of disappointment, they're literally having that talk with themselves, like, okay, well, if I don't like it, don't watch it. Like, if you don't like the movie, don't watch it, right? If you don't like the decisions the directors made or the actors they cast, don't watch it. They're at that place with Art Fight. They're like, well, if I don't like these rules and the decisions the mods made, I'm not going to play it. And that's fine. Like, you're not being forced to play this against your will. Absolutely not. But what I'm trying to get across is maybe think about how much disappointment is okay. How much is it okay to be disappointed and still enjoy something? Because perfect satisfaction or nothing is a really weird standard that we have set as a society, I think, in today's day and age. And my other example for this, not just the Star Wars thing, not just other fandoms, because you see it in other fandoms too, they get very volatile. You see it in the K-pop industry, they become very volatile. Fans become like death threat level mean to their idols if their idol says something that they don't agree with, you know? We see it in video games. People who are waiting for a game to come out, they're very hyped, they're like diehard fans of like maybe the franchise. Then the game rolls out and they're disappointed for one reason or another. They didn't like a character's design, they thought like a function was clunky, or the storyline didn't live up to the prequels or something. Suddenly they're angry, they want their money back, they don't feel like they got what they deserved, and it's just, it really, we need to start pushing this line back, this 100% satisfaction or fail line back a little bit, and allows room for a little bit of disappointment. Everything is not a failure if it is not perfectly tailored to every single consumer, because it's also just not possible, and we are being a very ungrateful society, and then we are creating resentment with the people providing the things that we enjoy. And I'm not saying like Hasbro has resentment who makes our games, or that like Hollywood producers have resentment towards their consumers who are making our movies. I'm not speaking for them either. I'm just looking at cause and effect and the potential for resentment to be there. Okay, so I went really broad with that. Let's scale it back again, because my brain is really spinning out in a lot of directions, right? Let's bring it back to Art Fight. I understand the upset people are feeling over the no 3D models and no bases rules. I do, and I use 3D models. Ever since I started using Clip Studio Paint to make my webtoon Venerable I don't use models because I make it in Krita and I don't have models. But my webtoon Love Cursed Queen of Rogues, I do use 3D models on that. It speeds up my time, it helps me plan my panels quicker and sometimes better. So me not being able to use those models, I wasn't planning to use them on Art Fight anyway, but let's say if I was. It's going to make it so I can't can't make attacks as fast. I'm not gonna get as many dynamic poses, which means the art that I am giving to people isn't as cool as it could have been, right? Like I could have made something way cooler for you that I think you might have liked even more if I'd been allowed to use the 3D models. I understand this argument. But these limitations, having limitations on an activity that you enjoy is not, go big or bust. You can look at setbacks, and this is a life skill. You can look at certain setbacks and be like, okay, well, this is a growing pain. I'm going to grow from this. So I can't use, and then people have made the argument, well, if you can't use 3D models because it's too much of an advantage, you might as well do away with digital art. It's too much of an advantage, right? Like, where do we draw the line? Say they did that. Say they said no digital art. This picture I have right up on my screen right now, absolutely not. Unacceptable. Can't make that for art fight, right? Let's say they made that ruling and it affects me. It's a rule that affects me. I can't make digital art. I would grab my sketchbook. Yeah, that would suck for me because digital art is faster for me and I could get more attacks done if I could do digital art. But if they're gonna make that rule, am I gonna quit art fight? Personally, no, I'm not gonna quit art fight. I'm going to use that growing pain as an opportunity to grow and just work on a different skill. And I would get out my sketchbook and I would start sketching and I would work on that skill instead of focusing on the thing that I can't work on. And I think that's kind of the direction we as the art community who enjoy and love art fight and who still want to participate and give and gift art during art fight, that is a much better, more proactive, more like a healthier perspective to take. And I'm going to draw this all the way back to the beginning about what I was saying about like the state of the world right now. It's also something we really need. We really need something healthy, happy, positive, that creates joy in our lives. And if we're only going to focus on the negative, on the limitations, for a game, nobody's saying like we're outlawing 3D models for artists because, I don't know, because that's part of a new law that got like slipped in there with new AI laws or something. Like it's not for everything. It is a limitation for a game, and all games have limitations. All games have limitations. And we might not, like, a limitation that doesn't affect you has been affecting other people this whole time. And so when it's your turn to be affected by a limitation, sometimes, yes, the right answer is to push back. Absolutely. I'm not saying don't push back. This isn't like me promoting just be a doormat. I'm not saying that. Like, I definitely believe in standing up for what you believe in. And if this is what you believe in and you want to stand up for it, I'm not going to get in your way. I'm going to let you fight that fight if that is important to you and if that's something that you feel very strongly about, and I'm not going to get in your way. But I'm just suggesting that if my argument made sense to you, if the idea that sometimes we face growing pains and it's an opportunity to grow, and sometimes there are limitations that don't affect us, and sometimes there are when it comes to the games that we play. And it's just about accepting those limitations with grace and looking at it from the perspective of what can I do? And sometimes we need to like widen the margin for what is considered success when it's not perfect satisfaction or nothing. It can be perfect satisfaction and maybe a little bit of disappointment, but still entertaining, but still enjoyable. If it's still enjoyable, but you were a little bit disappointed, was it a total like loss or not? These are just like thoughts I've had ever since the drama flared up around the new art fight rules, and even just old rules that were like rephrased and people suddenly didn't like the way they sounded because they understood them the way that the team intends them. Yeah, I'm not a moderator, and again, I'm one person, and I don't think my opinion is de facto the right opinion. Nobody's challenged my opinion to help me see where maybe I am misunderstanding things. Nobody's shown me a different perspective that maybe makes me realize that my perspective is inadequate or like less, like lower, like a lower level of importance compared to like a greater need, or like I said, if this is your fight and you want to fight that fight and you want to take up that torch and that's the hill you're going to die on, then I'm not going to stand in your way, and I'm not going to push back on you and tell you that you're wasting your time. Absolutely not. I believe in standing up for what you believe in, so do that. But I'm just suggesting, from where I'm standing and from what I'm seeing, that we try the best that we can to approach art fight with grace and with acceptance, and that we still allow ourselves to enjoy it instead of be miserable for a 10-year anniversary of art fight. And and challenge ourselves. Let's challenge ourselves. We have an opportunity here to take away some of the tools that speed up our process and really get back to basics. Like maybe I became too reliant on those 3D models while I was making my webtoon, and I stopped drawing my own poses and anatomy, and I've really gotten rusty with that muscle, right? And so this art fight, while I'm wishing I could just pull up a model and make it happen, and like, man, that pose would have been so cool if I could have just made it a little more dynamic, gotten that crazy perspective or something, but I'm gonna have to settle for my hand-eye coordination or something. It's gonna train my hand-eye coordination. I'm gonna grow from it. It's still free gift art, so the person receiving it's still gonna love it. It's gonna come as a surprise, even if it's not perfectly anatomically correct. I don't know that they would love it any less. Bacalote says crayons only, and it has to be from that one certified Pizza Hut. What are we talking about? Did you get crayons at Pizza Hut? How do they know if you draw over the Clip Studio models? I don't know. I will say there was a stream last year I did, and I most of my streams are hidden now, so I don't know that we'd be able to find it necessarily, but it had come up, and this was when I first started using the models myself. And I had said in that stream, not even thinking that this was ever going to become an issue for art fight, that when I look at webtoons, I can instantly tell who's tracing the models. And I can still to this day. It's so obvious to me. When I look at a webtoon, I can tell who's using the Clip Studio models. They all have the same look. They all have the same the structure. The bodies are all basically the same. The weird, funky way that the joints work in Clip Studio, it's a really good system. It's a really, really good software, and it does a great job. Even with me, when I'm using them for my webtoons, once I take away the models and I'm just looking at my liner, I'm like, what did I do to these wrists? What did I do to these fingers? What did I do to these ankles? Because the joints, the more complex joints, like hands and ankles and feet, even sometimes shoulders, the way the shoulders get kind of weird when you're using a 3D model, because sometimes they just don't twist or bend right. It shows up in the drawing because you're not thinking about anatomy when you're drawing it. You're just tracing a 3D model, and the 3D model is not as anatomically correct as we assume. I can tell when I look at it. Now, can I prove it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I don't know how they're going to enforce this. I don't know how they're going to prove that you used a 3D model. Just because it looks like it, you can't prove it. So is it enforceable? I don't know. But it just really just depends on whether or not you can break the rules when playing and still enjoy the game. At the end of the day, who cares about the points, right? Not too many people at the end of the day care about the points that I've encountered. I'm not going to say they don't exist, I just haven't encountered them. But I will say this. When you're playing this free game and giving your time and your energy to draw other people's characters instead of drawing something productive for yourself, if you break the rules, is that going to bother you? Is that going to lessen the joy that you're getting out of the game, even if nobody ever calls you out on it? Is it going to bother you? Because it would bother me. If I got caught breaking the rules, it would bother me. There have been a couple times where I've like definitely skirted some rules, and like the next day I would like take it down because I was like, I don't feel good about this. Or I would like just not score myself any points, but still give the art to the other person. Like I would like not mark that it was colored. I would not mark that it was like clean line art or had a background or something. And I would like just not give it the points that it would otherwise get so that I could still give away the art but not give myself the points, because my own ability to enjoy the game if I felt like I was cheating was greatly diminished. So that's up to you as the player too. Like at the end of the day, does it hurt anybody? No. You break the rules, I mean, at worst, if they can prove it, you could get like your account suspended or something. I don't know. And I'm not even sure what the consequences are because I just don't want to do it. Like, if there's a limitation and they're taking away a certain technique that I was planning on using, I just won't use that technique because it's not fun for me if I feel scared that I'm going to get in trouble. It's not fun for me if I feel bad that I cheated. So I'm not going to even entertain those ideas. If they're going to put a limitation, like I said, if they took away digital art tomorrow and said no digital art, it's too much of an unfair advantage, I would accept that, and I would only draw traditional for art fight, and then in my other art that I'm using for other things, I would still draw digital. Like, it's not going to stop me from making digital art. I'm just not going to do it on art fight if that's against the rules that year. So yeah, if I'm going to play the game, I'm going to accept the limitations, and I'm going to do my best to get over those growing pains and grow from it. And that's been another one of my major promos for Art Fight for literally like all the years I've been making content on it, is that Art Fight grows you as an artist. Every year that I play Art Fight, I learn new skills and I grow, I multiply. That's like where I see my greatest growth as an artist, is when I'm pushing through Art Fight, because I'm drawing unfamiliar characters that I wouldn't come up with myself. They're gonna have features that I wouldn't have designed, and I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to train my hand-eye coordination to do different things than what I'm normally repetitively doing. So I'm going to learn from that. It's going to grow me as an artist. It's going to teach me skills that I would not teach myself outside of that arena, because those are things I wouldn't be drawing otherwise. So yeah, I'm going to still participate in the 10-year anniversary of Art Fight. For what it's worth, I'm going to accept the limitations they have put on us with the rules, and I'm going to work inside those limitations to make the best art that I can for people, because I want to make people happy, and I'm going to use that as a time, as always, to grow as an artist so that I can also improve my skill, and I'm still walking away net positive at the end of the day. I've gained new art of my characters that I can enjoy and love, and I've gained new skills that are going to help me continue to be a better artist for years to come. So yeah, net positive all the way around. I'll still be there. So I do plan on having another live stream before Art Fight starts, where I'm going to start building my hit list, like always. And I am going to invite people to come to that stream and submit their characters so that I can add your characters to my hit list. Because for the first 48 hours of Art Fight, when the traffic is usually its highest and it's hardest to access the website, I'm just gonna I'm gonna have all of those bookmarks from my hit list downloaded to my computer so that I can just draw them without having to even go on the website. And those are the only characters I'm pulling from the first 2 days of Art Fight. I'm only drawing those. So definitely, if you enjoyed this video, if you didn't rage quit on me because you didn't like something I said, and you're willing to still participate in Art Fight and you would like to Art Fight with me, come back for that stream and submit your characters for my hit list, and I will add them to the collection of characters that I plan on drawing, as many as possible, those first 48 hours. And really, that's all I wanted to say for this. I didn't have too much other speculation other than the team thing. That's really the only rumor I've heard, is that there might be more than 2 teams. Whatever they're planning, they're keeping it very tight-lipped. I don't think there's really been any kind of like spoilers. And then I wanted to address kind of like the disappointment that the community is experiencing right now, sans rules updates, and kind of put that in the perspective of like our overall internet culture and how we treat all of the things we enjoy, from movies to games to fandoms, to idols, and just sort of like ask people to broaden the spectrum a little bit of what's acceptable. Let's not make it complete satisfactory or bust. I want us to really make space for the people providing the things that we enjoy, our entertainment, our music, our games, and really just kind of like have a greater margin of appreciation for that. Clubs versus diamonds versus spades versus hearts is Poké. That would be another really good 4-team setup, like the different suits of cards. I definitely could see that being a really good one as well. Yeah, those have a lot of personality. I could see that being really good. I would be down for that. I would be down for clubs versus diamonds versus spades versus hearts. I would be down for some rock, paper, scissors. I would be down for the 4 seasons. I think all of these would be a really fun way to break out of the binary teams that we've gotten so used to. And if they don't give us 4 teams and we're still in a versus B situation, that's fine too. You know, I'll pick my favorite. If I don't have a favorite, I'll click the randomizer and see what the RNG gods have for me. But either way, I'll be there. And I will see you guys soon on another stream. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being with me. And if you're watching this in the playback, make sure to let me know in the comments, like, of those options. If those truly were the teams, what would you choose? Clubs, diamonds, spades or hearts, rock, paper or scissors, autumn, spring, winter, summer. Where would your loyalties lie? Thank you, Poké, for being on this with me and for being so conversational in the chat. Always appreciate it. You are so good at keeping me company when I do these live streams, and I love to see you here. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys all next time. So that's really it for me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!